Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So we're going to sort of start diving into the whole 50-50 situation, and women really proving why they remain single and not in relationships, or at least not in meaningful, good, healthy relationships. Now I'm gonna let this video play, and then we're going to really get into it. So let me actually refresh this. Here we go.
50-50. The dishes wasn't 50-50. The laundry wasn't 50-50. The cleaning wasn't 50-50. And that's an everyday motherfucking job. I come home and they got food on the table, got clothes on the bed, got shit everywhere. Like literally. And I'm a clean person. If you've been to my house, I'm organized and clean. So every day I'm exhausted. I'm coming home, I'm cleaning my house. And yes, I do that anyways. But when it's just you, it's just you. When you are cleaning up for a man and his children and other people, it is a whole full-time job and you don't get time for yourself. And that's why women get burnt out. Period. And you're no longer having a relationship because you're coming home and a man is sitting on the couch because he's tired from work and you're making sure you're catering to him. And let me tell you guys all something. I have done that. And I'm not saying that I will never do it, but I'm letting you know that it feels very draining. And I'm not saying I won't do it, but when I'm going 50-50 on you,
I take pride in doing it.
So what?
I don't give a fuck. I think it's
so what?
Okay.
So what?
Cool.
So what? So what? So what?
I don't understand. Where is the value in that? Where is the value in that?
Well, pause.
Why am I going home and going 50-50 with you and doing all 50 and I'm doing all of the
why does one have anything
First
to
of
do
all,
with
I
the
think
other?
she has a valid point.
Are you guess wasn't 50-50?
Okay. Here's my issue with it. See, the problem that I have with the 50-50 argument when it comes to women and saying how if you want me to work and contribute to the finances of the home, then you cannot expect me to do 100% of all of the domestic work all the time, because it's not, it's not feasible to expect that. My problem with this argument is, what men are y'all with that come into a home, the home that he stay in, the home that he is helping to provide for, the home that he's really supposed to be the head of, where his children are, where his wife is, sees it in an uproar and never lends a hand to pick up clothes or help with dishes or help with cooking or help with cleaning. I've just never witnessed this stuff. And if you are with a man that doesn't help you at all, and you've gotten so far as to live with him and have children with him, then you got to lay in the bed you made, because ain't no way you didn't know that this was his stance on things, that he felt like you needed to contribute at least half of all the finances of the home, and that he was definitely not going to lift a single finger to help with anything else. He was just going to go to work, contribute his 50%, and then kick his toe up and watch you struggle. I don't understand what kind of men y'all have been with, or what kind of men y'all with, because I just find that argument to be not really based in reality. Like, in both of my marriages, my husbands have voluntarily, without me prompting them, without me saying anything, without me getting frustrated and then having to argue about it or anything like that, have cleaned, they have cooked. And if they haven't cooked, they've said, you know what, babe, let's go get something to eat, or let's order something to relieve me of the cooking, right? Even if he wasn't going to get into the kitchen himself. And I've just never been in a situation where things may have gotten out of hand, time may have gotten away from me. I didn't get a chance to really clean it up. I didn't get a chance to do all this stuff. And he comes in and he sees things out of order that he didn't help put back into order, without an argument, without contention. And so I just don't maybe it's just because I've never experienced it, but I just can't imagine getting into a full-fledged relationship and cohabitation with a man that you didn't know had the tendencies of never lifting a finger when it came to so-called woman's work. Now, in each of my marriages, I hold the bulk of that domestic work, right? And this is minus some 50-50 situation financially. But I work the latter part of my first marriage. And I'm working coming into this one, and I have not stopped. So I'm a working woman. I'm a working wife. I am not a stay-at-home wife. I was for the better portion of my first marriage. Latter portion, I was working. And even still, I'm able to keep my house up. It's women are acting like domestic duties are these things that are just so overwhelming every day. It's not overwhelming every day. I've been cleaning houses up since I was 7 or 8, 9 years old enough to hold a broom and a mop in my hand. From helping my mom clean to becoming an adult and handling my own home. You have days and times where you do a deep cleaning and it takes hours to actually get into every nook and cranny, make sure that everything's clean. But after you do that, every cleaning thereafter is not in depth like that. So it really should not take, even with children, it really should not take that long, because as long as you have a schedule for children and an area for when they play or where they play, so that they can kind of stroll their toys and things of that nature, so they have a chance to do that. And then after a while, it's okay, we got to clean this up. We got to start winding things down. It can't be chaotic up until the 11th hour before they go to sleep. And you know what I'm saying? And the house doesn't calm down until 10, 11 o'clock at night and you're exhausted. And you know what I'm saying? This is where schedules come in. This is where organization of time actually comes in, because when you have children, they need that scheduling, because children they're not going to be responsible enough to do it on their own. So they need the structure of the adults in the home to make sure that things more or less go smoothly for the majority of the time. Now, nothing's perfect. Nothing's always going to go without a hitch. There's, life happens, and everybody understands that. So your house isn't going to be immaculately clean all the time, every day. Sometimes the children are going to go to bed a little later than their actual bedtime. Sometimes you are just going to be so exhausted. It's leave the dishes in the sink until the morning time. I get them later. Sometimes you are exhausted, but these women are acting like this is a never-ending saga where they're slaving with this work. But when y'all are single, you paying 100% of everything and you still doing the work. So some might say, okay, well, that's the point, Crimson, because if we're going to have men around, then it still shouldn't be like that. And okay, and that's exactly what I'm saying too. What men don't do this? I don't get it. What man is just not doing it at all? Like nothing. Like he doesn't do anything. Like the children can be swinging off the chandeliers and he's going to act like he doesn't hear that or see that. And if the men are there in the home and involved within the home and involved with the kids, then there's no way he's even going to be tolerating stuff like that because it's too chaotic. It's not peaceful. A man is going to assert the order, even if he has to do it when he's upset. Like at some point, the shenanigans got to stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? They running you roughshod as the mom. You're having to go in the room and say something 2-3 times. They still ain't doing it. And then once he sees that you've lost control over what's going on, even despite your best effort, I have never seen a man that was involved and not get up and say, okay, all right, you know what? Y'all lay down, you sit down, baby, you do this, just worry about that over there. I got this. You just worry about that. Hey, now, did y'all wash y'all face? Did y'all brush y'all teeth before you go to bed? Did you use the bathroom? Hey, the homework is done, right? I've never seen a man not assert that in some way, shape, or form. So I don't know what kind of men are y'all even talking about, or are these hypothetical situations that you're just coming up with and saying, this is why 50-50 can't work because I can't be a traditional woman if I'm working. The other part of that is y'all are not going to be traditional women anyway. I mean, y'all are talking about I can't be a traditional woman if I go 50-50. You're not going to be a traditional woman anyway. Whether he sits you down and says you don't have to work anymore or you still work, y'all not going to be traditional because it's going to be another problem. Because if the man sits you down and says you don't have to work, then now he's controlling all the finances and this is a way to manipulate you into the relationship. If you work, you don't want him to demand any of your money to go towards the household. Because if he does that, then that automatically means that you are incapable of doing any domestic work. So you want to be able to still work because y'all still going to work. Y'all are going to work in these relationships anyway. Y'all don't want to not work. Because when women say that, they always come and no, I'm gonna work anyway, even if he pays all the bills and make sure it's everything. Because the reasoning that y'all give then is to say, well, I need my own money and my own stash and things like that. So I'm never gonna not work. So you're gonna work anyway. So of course, so you're gonna be expected to do the housework then. Especially if you're gonna do that no matter what options your man gives you. And if he says, okay, you can be stay at home, y'all still gonna complain because when the men do that and then they still expect you to do, okay, let's say in the scenario that you're a stay at home wife and mom, and so they don't require you to work, everything is taken care of to your satisfaction, y'all still be complaining about how difficult it is to keep kids in order and keep houses clean and keep dinner on the table. Like your basic dinner is about an hour max, unless you fixing a lot of courses or you fixing a lot of food. So it's like, what are y'all really saying? Just say you don't, just go back to the original talking point. No need to go around the block. Just say, listen, I'm not going to be a traditional woman. I want to be able to work, have my money. I do not want my money contributing in any way significant to the finances of the household. I want to be able to still work, and I want to be taken care of by the man that I'm with. And I also do not expect to be solely responsible or majority responsible for the domestic work within the home. I need to be able to work, not contribute my money, and he also come at home and do half my work. That's what y'all want. Just say that. Anyway, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.